Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is June 24th, 2019, and today is Monday morning, so there's no major economic events scheduled for today, but as the week moves on, we will have some scheduled events. And really, on the back of last week, we've really been all newsed out. I mean, if we look at the markets, starting with the Forex markets, dollar gets much weaker versus the major pairs. That's the Aussie dollar, that's the euro, and the GBP, all getting much stronger versus the US dollar. And that's really on the back of the fact that the Dow Jones continues to explode to the upside, okay? It hit 26,800-ish level, but the question is how much longer and what's driving it, okay? And that I'm going to try and answer today. And looking at commodities, gold explodes to 1,400, above 1,400, close to its multi-year resistance. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. And oil looking to break its second resistance off of the Fibonacci retracements that we have. Now, what's causing the markets to actually push higher? Microsoft, it continues to go higher. Okay, if we look at the FANG stocks, we look at the other sector stocks, they're not pushing higher. But if we look at Microsoft, it keeps on pushing higher. So it could be that Microsoft is driving the market higher. But let's take a look at what we can expect from today's trading.
This conference will now be recorded.
So to really have the full effect of understanding how much new territory we've covered, you have to look at longer time frame charts to really give us that perspective. So we're looking at a Euro USD daily chart, okay, and we broke above this 1339 resistance. We were talking about it forever. And now what has broken as resistance will subsequently become support. So if it does retrace back to this level, I do expect it to have a support level. Now the next real resistance level is 1422-ish level. And on the downside, we've been trading within this area for a long time, but this is something that's really important to note, that we're breaking above it and maybe changing character for the US dollar. Now the strongest one, or the strongest pair versus the US dollar, was really the Aussie dollar. If we look at that, and this was really looking like it was going to break down to multi-year lows. Now we're looking at a weekly chart, which is even longer chart than a daily chart. We're looking back to 2015, and that was the bottom. Okay, we doubled on that bottom of 66, 68, and that was really the final bottom. We finally bounced above it, 69.44. That's 300 pips above it. So this real rally, okay, we call it the ABC move. If we look at the trend, this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C move, is really confirmed on upwards momentum. Okay, so that's your real upwards momentum. I'd look for a support level around the 69.34-ish level. Okay, if it does retrace back down there, but it does look like it's changed character, and it does look like it may want to go up to 68.90-ish level, and that's our next real major resistance level. Now, looking at the GBP, that's probably the weakest of the three, but still rallied above of our downwards trend line. Okay, you guys remember that we set this up, and now it's really full force changed the character. I don't think we're out of the woods yet for the GBP, because we still have Brexit looming, and we do have some elections coming up. Excuse me, couldn't get that word out. Okay, we do have elections coming out, so there's a little bit of a question mark regarding GBP. So I would hesitate to buy into this, but I would look to short into this out of the three. Now looking at gold, this was the explosive move. That's a mistake, that big red bar as you can see here. But let's look at a daily chart just to give you a perspective of it. Okay, now we broke above this 1341. That was the one that we had a big challenge breaking above it, but we finally tore across, and once we tore above it, it's another 60 points. Okay, we hit 1410. Now this is a major resistance level. 1410 is really, if we look at multi-year, okay, if we look at a weekly chart, okay, you can see that what I'm talking about is that we do have this resistance level of 1410 even on monthly charts. Let's look at that. That's better. Okay, you could see that in 2013, right here, we had a resistance level that was a, after we sold off, we bounced off of it, a clear bear flag. Okay, now this is right here where we're standing right there. We haven't been here since 2013, so it's a major turnaround for the gold. And if it doesn't close above it, for now, it will retrace, and it'll retrace probably back to our previous resistance, which was 1340, right? So let's take a look at that 1340 level. Right here is where we could possibly retrace, and you can see that it's already making its retracement right now. Now looking at Oil. Okay, this was the other one. Broke and tore 54.10. And last week I mentioned if it does break above this 54.10, it'll take it higher. And sure enough, 57.91. That's a massive rally for oil right here. Now we did hit our next resistance level, which is 57.94. If it doesn't break above it, then we're going to see it retrace. Okay, but for right now, it's still on an upwards momentum. Okay, so it's something to consider as this continues trading later today. Now looking at that Dow Jones, we're up this morning. You can see this all-time highs. We're looking at daily charts. Again, it's a longer time frame chart that you got to look at. And look, we're above this 24,750-ish level. We hit all-time highs at 26,800-ish level, and this is major breakthrough for the Dow Jones. Now lastly, looking at Microsoft. Okay, now this is the one that's taking us higher. If we look at a weekly chart, okay, just to give us a perspective here, it's going to 136, breaking out higher. Okay, now the question is how much longer? So I really would like to look into Microsoft to see how it trades vis-a-vis the rest of the market. And if Microsoft is on a tear, if it's continuously going higher, you could expect the Dow Jones to continue going higher, the dollar to get weaker, and possibly gold to make a correction here, okay, as this new stuff is coming along. I know that there was some outer political news coming out last week with Iran and the United States, but since that has been put to bed and we're breaking out all-time highs, this is something to make note of, okay, and especially since we're trading in the summer, which is generally a very quiet season. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.